Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Today we're going old school, and I mean really old school. I have here a little bag of awesomeness, because in here I have enough bits to make 6 original RTB01 Space Marines. These were a gift from long-term subscriber and friend to the channel John Middleton, and I am so excited to finally have some of these classic beakies in my collection. I'm sure most people with a passing interest in Warhammer 40k have at least heard of the RTB01 beakies, as they were a benchmark release for Games Workshop. These were the first ever plastic Space Marines, and they were sculpted by Ali Morrison, Bob Naismith and Jess Goodwin. These little plastic Marines are intrinsically linked with the foundation of Warhammer 40k. They were released in 1987, the same year as the first edition of Rogue Trader, and I believe they were first advertised in issue 93 of White Dwarf magazine in September of that year, which was the same issue that introduced players to the crazy world, or crazy worlds I should say, of Rogue Trader as a game system. Even the cover art for the RTB01 box set was the same as the Rogue Trader rulesbook cover art by John Civic. That evocative image of the Crimson Fists caught in a bloody gunfight is probably ingrained in most players' minds, especially those players of a certain vintage like my good self. It was possible to order individual sprues for these miniatures, but it's that box set with the Civic art that most people probably think of when they think of these miniatures. That box is one of the grails of early 40k plastics, and you only have to look on eBay at part sets in the original box to see how in demand they are. The box included a total of 17 sprues of 3 different types, making it possible to assemble 30 Marines in total. The first sprue had enough parts to make 2 basic bolter-armed Marines, and included an assortment of bayonets and extra mags for detailing. The second sprue had enough parts to make 2 Marines with close combat weapons. Although those options were quite limited, you really only got 2 bolt pistols, 1 power glove, a couple of clenched left fists, and a set of arms that was actually really only good for holding a missile launcher. Speaking of the missile launcher, that was on the third sprue. This sprue didn't allow you to create any Marines on its own, but was used in conjunction with either of the other 2 sprues to create characters with special weapons. The sprue was exactly the same as the close combat weapon sprue, except it dropped the legs, bodies, heads and backpacks and replaced them with a missile launcher and a flamer. But that's the history lesson over, although I'm sure I've forgotten some important information. Regardless, let's take a look at what I did with my little bag of goodies. For those of you who are new to the channel, my hunt for Rogue Trader bits and pieces is to create all of the possible unit configurations for both the Tyranids and Space Marine forces in Advanced Space Crusade, which is a game I had as a child but never fully appreciated and recently reacquired. A lot of my forces will be coming from Space Crusade, which is an invaluable resource for fleshing out Advanced Space Crusade, but there's still lots of things I need, and I'm determined to keep everything period accurate. My RTB01 boys will be dropped into various different units along with metal miniatures as I collect them, and at least 3 are going to form the backbone of an assault squad. The assault squad comprises a sergeant with bolt pistol and chainsword, 2 Marines with 2 bolt pistols, 1 Marine with a bolt pistol and plasma pistol, and 1 with a bolt pistol and hand flamer. Yeah, these guys are going in guns akimbo. Unfortunately, the RTB01 sprues aren't ideal for making these particular configurations. They don't have any bolt pistols in left hands, making it hard to build them dual wielding, and they don't have a chainsword, hand flamer or plasma pistol between them. Still, we can work around that. First of all, here's a cheap and cheerful way to build an assault marine. We have the bolt pistol in the right hand and then a supporting left hand. Perhaps he is steadying his aim or popping in another magazine. It looks kinda cool though. Of course, he's supposed to have 2 bolt pistols, so I've also glued a sidearm on his left leg. That's actually a needle gun, but holstered up it looks fine. It's also the only sidearm or ammo pack I'm going to attach to these miniatures. I really like clean, simple models, so I rarely stick on too many extra bits like grenades and knives. It's a personal thing, and I do realise it makes it look like my Marines are woefully unprepared, but I prefer these simple lines of unadorned models, and it's a concession to reality I'm happy with. It also makes painting easier. For my second build, I made the Assault Marine with the hand flamer. As I already mentioned, there's no hand flamer in the RTB01 box, just a really nice classic full-size flamer. Fortunately, John provides once again. He included some of his own casts of Rogue Trader era plasma pistols and hand flamers for me. So you can see this second Marine is carrying a little heavy metal. And just to point out, I do have modern era hand flamers and plasma pistols, I just wanted to keep this old school. I have to say I really like this pose. The shape of the bolt pistol arm makes it look like he's just dropped his flamer down and is now just drawing his pistol to shoot someone up close in the face. It has a nice sense of movement about it. For the third Assault Marine I'm doing pretty much the same thing, but with a metal plasma pistol. However, I've reversed the pose, so it's the bolt pistol arm that's dropping while the plasma pistol arm is coming up. The reason for this is because these two fine gentlemen are twins, and with these poses, they look pretty badass standing side by side. And that's it for the Assault Marines. I do have enough bits to make another one, but I felt it would be too much like the first one I showed, so I'm probably going to grab a metal miniature to fill that slot, and I will also need a metal miniature for the Sergeant. I haven't quite decided what to do yet with my other RTB01 boys, but I couldn't resist just building a regular TAC Marine with a bolter. It's just a classic, and he looks so cool. And I guess that sums it up. These guys just look cool, and I'm very pleased to be able to send them to their untimely deaths in the bowels, literally, of a Tyranid hive ship. It's what the Emperor would have wanted. And that's pretty much it from me for now. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at some true classics from Games Workshop's past. If you have enjoyed the video, do please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.